And a very good evening to you. This is another one of my wife's in the shop videos. Somebody actually asked me in the comments, they said, don't you ever go shopping with your wife? I said, well, I do. It's kind of half and half. I enjoy sitting in the car and sometimes go inside. It varies, but these are opportunities that I like to take. And I've just got something on my heart because I was in the church this morning, our Anglican church, the local one that we go to. And a lady stood up to give the prayers. And you know what? She started to pray for Palestine. I mean, fair enough, she could have prayed for the Palestinians. I would have understand, what she was praying for, the people group. But she completely eradicated Israel, as if it didn't exist, and prayed for Palestine. And I wanted to say to her afterwards, I would say, well, is there really such a country as Palestine? We know that many of the Palestinians came over from Jordan. The name Palestine, of course, Syria Palestina, which of course came out of the Bar Kokhba revolt when the Jews were defeated by the Romans, and after the rebellion, and the Emperor Hadrian gave it that name. And you kind of think, well, don't they know some little bit of history concerning the way that Palestine has come into so-called existence? I know that during the British Mandate, maps were drawn up and the name Palestine was put on them. But it was only really when Israel was reborn and declared a nation that we knew it again as the State of Israel. It's been Israel from the very start. Jacob was called Israel. And, we have to just understand these things. You can't erase history. You can't erase fact. It will stand. It will always stand. And no matter how much you gloss over something or paper over it or try to twist it or reinvent it, it isn't going to change the truth of the matter. And we're going to see more and more of this, aren't we? But I think people in the churches are just getting brainwashed. I'm quite sure this lady, I've known this lady for many years, and I'm quite sure that a while back she wouldn't have prayed like that. I just think they're watching the BBC News. They're seeing signs being put up, free Palestine and all that sort of thing. And they're just beginning to, as it were, side with that particular narrative. We know, don't we, that God is at work in the situation and that he's changing hearts, he's changing minds. But at the same time, the enemy's at work. He's also doing his thing. And unfortunately, he's getting the minds of Christians and he's twisting things and causing them to turn anti-Semitic, which is really what it is. It's the return of an anti-Semitism. And it's a different kind of anti-Semitism to what existed in Nazi Germany. This is something that is taking hold of middle-class people. So I put it in that way, the middle classes, people that would have thought differently at one time. They wouldn't have had this mindset. And now I suppose they're getting bombarded with the idea that Israel is withholding aid, that Israel is not being humanitarian. And yet, of course, they don't go to the sites where you are hearing from people that are actually there and can tell you, for instance, they can be standing in front of hundreds of tons of food aid that hasn't moved. But you won't see that on the BBC. You'll be told that the Israeli soldiers are shooting the people as they go for the food. Everything can be twisted and changed and turned. And it is really, really a war we're fighting, isn't it? We're fighting a terrible battle. Yes, it's an anti-Semitism that isn't race-based. It's not a race-based thing. This is a political anti-Semitism. And we're up against something now that is strategic, and the devil is using it in ways he never has before. I'll just leave you with those thoughts tonight, and maybe in the comments you could tell me if you're finding the same experience in the churches, and if you're finding that that is the mindset that people are now under. You might have heard a bit of a kerfuffle now on the video. What happened was I was waiting for my wife to come out. There she is, and as I was waiting for her to come out of the shop, apparently a shoplifter ran out with a whole basket full of goods, and the one of the proprietors ran out shouting after him, but he couldn't catch him, and he thought I was filming him. That is the shoplifter. I said, no, I'm making a YouTube video. And this chap I've known for years who serves in the shop, he didn't know that I did that. So I was able to give him a little bit of a witness and to give him a card that I've got for the YouTube channel, which is quite amazing. All these things go on live, don't they? They just seem to happen. So, well, we're going to go off home now, and wishing you a blessed week, and that you'll keep alert as to what's going on. Have a blessed evening.